Welcome back to Russia Madness, session 17, entitled Marshtown. Kind of wishful thinking. We might pull what was it, Dark Flame on this one. We'll see how it goes. That said, last session the group took a fort. It is now held by the agitators, and they have split, or they haven't split up. They've rejoined back at the fort, and were deciding what they were going to do next. And there was some talk of taking this fellow here to Marshtown to return him back to where he needed to go. And by this fellow, I mean the bandit they didn't murder.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Oh, his name's Jace. He's my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were mean to my mom.
I was mean to your adoptive mom. She's not your real mom.
She
Why?
is.
You're not my real dad. Why are you gotta
she's
be
the
like that?
mother that she needed.
Oh, man. So, I'm just leaving the table open. You folks can, as you like.
Okay, so this isn't really Glint's pig nor his farm. But I guess out of character, this could be. So this is the fort that's like closest to Marshtown.
Oh, no, this is the fort that's closest to the barrow.
Okay.
Light.
Well, there was the sort of implication that they will probably be getting a resupply before too long.
No, there was indication that they were not going to get a resupply, and that they were basically. Just
Okay.
Oh,
The indication was that they had recently been resupplied.
yes.
Okay.
It was light fare is what they were given. They weren't given a lot.
So yeah, should probably just be aware of that in the future. That whoever's going to be occupying this place, there's going to be to expect some Denisovans. I mean, like a quick turning of the place. Does that reveal anything valuable? They had any like?
We already covered that.
Okay. And well, I guess having a Marshtown guy on our side would be a nice little. If we wanted to go try to actually negotiate with the Marshtown people now.
Well, that's if he doesn't die when the agitators come back.
Yeah.
Well, we discussed that the agitators
I'll
come
take
back.
care of them.
We already kind of mentioned that they were coming back. The Blothild had brought them in. They didn't. There was no interaction with them. They didn't do anything with them. But Albrecht wasn't among them when they came in, and Blothild would mention that Albrecht went back into town.
Okay. So yeah, I guess everyone, like, after we scrounge up all the resources that we can, we would leave, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah. And
Okay.
head back to Marshtown.
Okay.
I think we could at least stick around till the agitators show up.
We just discussed that they
They did.
did twice.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you. No. Okay. So agitators show up. We got a short rest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's about
Um.
early evening, right as the sun is setting.
Yeah, I guess we could head back to Marshtown, and if we're gonna do that, we should probably just take Jace with us.
Okay, so you're
And
going
we
to.
do not want to occupy the fort, correct?
No, we can't. We don't have enough forces.
Okay, then Lose is cutting the strings on the ballistas.
Okay.
And everyone retreats back to Blawfields then?
Yeah.
Okay. Albrecht is not there, but everyone else is in the group.
He's not even at Bethildes?
Not at Blawfields, nope.
Oh, shit.
And Cassia, when you regrouped with the agitators, you did see Albrecht, but Blawfields had a quick talk with him that was kind of out of earshot, and then he left.
Maybe he's off being like coy again.
Or he's plotting to assassinate my friend Jace.
Good.
Because if they spend the effort and resources on that, that'll help the cause.
Yeah, definitely. So, do we want to go today?
So weird to see my shoulders.
Your shoulders are fine.
I mean, do we have enough time to make it to Marshtown before dark?
Sure.
Okay,
It's like right there.
let's do it. Definitely gonna make an effort to avoid Dennis Sotvin.
Right. Okay. So how are you going about getting to Marshtown? No more rep?
Yeah.
Okay. You are not accosted on the road on 2 Furlong. You make it just outside of Marshtown. You can see it. Some of you have probably been here before. Others, this is your first visit. Marshtown is so named because it's a town that's built on a marsh. In olden times, it was a multi-layered town, but over the course of many a flooding and many a sediment buildups, it's come to the point where they have just all kept to the higher ground locations instead of building out, and have set up a nice setup of waterways that they utilize to maneuver things around the marsh and around the town. They have their own tight-knit community, from what those of you who are aware of them know. When you enter into the space, Jace will say, as long as he's not like bound or anything, I don't think you guys
No.
did do that.
No.
He's just hanging.
He'll say,
Yeah. Glenn's being very chummy with him.
all right, then that's it then? Or you said you were wanting to meet? You want me to try and get a meet with you, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if you could,
It's not
that'd be
trouble.
that'd be great. We tried earlier, but things were kind of tense.
Yeah.
But really, I hope this will, kind of show them that we mean well. We're here to help.
Yeah. He kind of just starts walking off and heads over to this house right up front, which indicationally for Janarans has kind of denotation that it is a general store. He walks right in. You follow him in. Inside, it's a very simple storefront. A older gentleman sitting there, candle lit on his counter. Looks like he's reading a book. Looks up, gives a kind of toothless smile, and says, "Oh, hi, old Jace. Thought you've been gone for a while. Didn't expect to see you around these parts. Who are your friends?"
This man has definitely been to Florida.
I think Marshtown is Florida.
Oh.
There's gonna be some gator wrestling outside when we leave the store.
The
Don't
guy,
threaten me with a good time.
Jay says, the boss, is he, what about him? What are you trying to, who are these fellows?
Wonder if this guy was panning for gold at some point in the past.
Well, yeah, I live in the marsh
You
south,
guys-
and I couldn't get shit but silk.
I had a patient that sounded just fucking like him.
Back when it was a river, I was fine, but then everything
It's
just
ran
went
for
to
gold.
shit.
Ain't found nothing but dirty needles.
But,
Where's the moonshine?
Jace will say, they are. He says, without even, almost like he's answering a question that wasn't actually posed. He says, they are. And the old guy goes, well, that's not very good. Bringing them on in here like this. I don't know if the boss is going to want to see them. Word is they already got sent away earlier today. They saved my
Yeah.
life, Jay says. If you're putting in your mark in for it, then I suppose it's fine. I'll go ahead and send you on your way. You know where he's at. I sure do. And he would step outside of the store, kind of like indicating for you to follow.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
as
we're
long
all
as you
following.
do and don't cause any problems, he will walk down the street, heading southbound. As he passes by what appears to be some sort of aviary and a small little kind of just lower altitude hut, it's kind of built kind of right on the water. Um, as you pass by those, you see what appears to be a smaller stone island. And seated on that stone island is a round building. And jutting up from the top of that round building is a about 70-foot tall tower. Looking at it, it doesn't look like it's architecturally different than anything here, but it's definitely, with the exception of like the windmill on the north side, kind of one of the more eye-catching features of the town. Probably saw it when you came in. And
Is that here?
yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
And he moves up to the bridge, and you see that from a balcony on that tower, someone comes out and looks down at him. Very quickly kind of moves his hand. If you'd like to make a perception check, you can to see if you can see exact hand movements. But it's very sudden and very quick, the hand movements he throws. Nobody really catching on.
Hold on. Let me roll a check.
Take your sweet time.
Sweet home Alabama. Ooh,
Alec, I made sure you paid for waiting for that roll.
Oh no.
The hand gestures are very articulate and very precise. And Jay starts walking towards the door. He stops as he crosses the bridge and kind of looks back at you, raises his hand and says, "Give me a minute."
Orlando's nods.
He heads into the tower. Standing there on the street, Orlandus, you're the only one who realizes, and only just, that the area you're standing in is kind of like a nice little smorgasbord of being a target.
Yep.
There's windows here that you can see people kind of looking out of, as well as here, as well as here. There's people in the second story of the aviary, and it looks like there's some kind of dark, small little just like entryway that seems to be pointed drift at you, and you see something that looks like kind of like a hole inside of the darkness. You don't know what it is because your perception sucks, but yeah, you feel like you're surrounded and there's a lot of eyes kind of already trained on you as it is.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes pass, nothing changes. Tense situation. Looks like whoever's watching you is kind of keeping their eye on you.
Okay.
And then eventually, Chase comes out. Pick a representative for your group, whoever they can meet with the boss.
Points at Orlandus.
Orlando steps forward.
All right. Let's go on. Heads inside with you. You come into the chamber, and it's about 10-foot high ceiling. There's a stairwell on either side of this large open round room. But other than that, there's nothing. Like, no people, nothing. He walks into the center of the room, kind of gestures for you to come over to him.
He goes.
Once you do, you see him drop to a knee, cast a spell on the floor in its center. And once he does, the entirety of the center floor portion drops and then slowly descends into what appears to be a kind of smoothly carved chute that leads into the earth. You descend for what you feel is probably a few hundred feet or so, and then it stops. There's a door in front of you. He walks over to it, and you can see that there's a kind of crass kind of painting of a guy who is wearing a white hat. It looks like his pants are around his ankles and his hands are kind of like out to the side, and it looks like he's holding a dagger in one hand and a beer in the other. It's very crudely drawn. It's like kind of graffitied, just kind of on the doors.
Is that similar to the artwork that we found in the Lycoy Manor?
No.
Okay.
He walked up to the door. It opens for him. Inside, you see nice little dining hall area with a bunch of different doors that lead out here and there. And seated at one end of the table is a guy. It looks like he has a couple of different like food articles on the table on his side. And he's just kind of eating. The gentleman in question, he's kind of a big guy, kind of a stupid-looking guy, just like a farmer's son. Just guy. Definitely not a guy you'd expect to be seated here in this underground lair for an underground like thieves guild. He looks up at you and he says, "You're Orlandis, right?"
Orlandis does a slight bow and he says, "Yes, I am."
Picks up a drumstick from whatever fowl and kind of points at the chair, kind of like across from him. "Sit."
Alright, Orlandis sits.
"I don't like your fucking boss, that's for sure. And I don't like you, because you work for him. Don't like what you and yours have been going on about doing, causing me issues." Kind of just drops the drumstick on the plate. Kind of. "But Jay says you saved his life."
Yes, I am well aware of the certain things that we have done to hinder a lot of the Whitecaps' progress and
Yeah.
activities.
I won't say we are out without sin when it comes to relations.
That is why
I started the conversation by saying the most important thing.
yes.
I don't like your boss. I really don't like your fucking boss.
I know. There is bad blood between us and the Whitecaps. And I was hoping to mend that today.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I don't give a shit about you other than the fact that you're employed by him. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Great. I can respect what you're doing. Even if I feel like it's coming from a source that's a bit, shitty. But, I can respect what you're doing. Can't respect the methods you've put forward. Haven't done too great. But, no, I respect it. That said, I really don't like your boss. Reaches over and grabs a metal cup. And you saved Jace. That's fine. I'm sure you came out here this morning for a purpose. Feel free to go ahead and give me your pitch.
I was hoping we could build a foundation. Us and the Whitecaps. All I wish is to rid this land of the Lycoy. That is all. And with the white caps, that would be so much easier.
I mean, I know you Midtowners are really focused on the strength of your land, what's underneath your feet, but that's not really our ride. Foundation sounds all well and good. I get your meaning, but I think you understand any agreement between us and you is going to need to be a bit more fluid.
Yes.
Great. So, again, I understand Parnin, military man, formalities, all of that. Get to the fucking point. What's the pitch?
I want you to help us destroy the Lakoi. That is the pitch.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. Imagine me and you were friends, and you had a plan. Like, imagine you had a plan. What's the pitch? Where do we fit in? I don't think you understand that, like, being friends is going to be super helpful against the Lycoi, let alone the Denisovans. Didn't help the noble class. Ask your friend that. So, what's your plan?
Let me think out of character.
Yeah, no, this is a great point for us to pause and for you to discuss amongst yourselves, like something that we've kind of just ridden past a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes we come up with an idea and it's like, well, we got to do this now because it's on the table, but why?
So I was
I'm not
thinking,
talking.
you guys, I was thinking we could use the white caps to disrupt the, like, you know, the travel of their food and shit, to starve them out. Like the Denizatvans, not the Lycoi, because the Lycoi eat everything anyway.
They'd eat the white caps.
Yeah. But could we use the white caps to, you know, take over their food distribution and whatnot?
Interrupt their supply lines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're into banditry, that's certainly an option.
That's their
at
thing.
least- yeah. I mean, you have information about the forts and the forces that are there and kind of how they're traveling back and forth and how the supplies might be run. So, I mean, that gives them something and that gives them resources that they can take and everything. And it helps us by possibly weakening the Denisotvan forces that are holding that area. I mean, they're mostly out of Hightown now by the sounds of it in the Barrow, so continuing to disrupt them in the forts and preventing them from potentially making their way back into Midtown and Hightown and the Barrow seems like an effective use of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So seeing as how like a lot of the Denisovans are distracted elsewhere, it's a great opportunity to sort of consolidate forces and sort of take and hold territory.
Yeah.
So we captured that fort easily enough. I can't remember the exact, because we did find something that sort of indicated the sort of distribution
Mm-hmm.
of troops between different forts.
Yeah.
So
That was from our spies.
right. So we could even follow up, plan a second assault on a second fort. We could offer
Sure.
to concede that one over to the Whitecaps. That way we don't have to worry about holding it. They get a sort of consolation prize. And then it kind of makes them more of a overt threat to the Denisovans.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's a little harder for them to ignore.
Yeah.
And especially if we can give them the fort that is like, because what, it's like there's like a path, there's like a road through Marshtown that goes through a fort, right?
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah, and that's like the
to
route they're using.
Cleaver.
That's the route they're using for their supplies.
Okay.
But if we can capture and secure that fort, that is like the perfect bottleneck. Like they don't even really have to risk too much to go out of their way to find these supplies. They can just occupy the fort.
But the fort doesn't have.
No. The objective is to disrupt the supply line.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Carver has nothing now. Well, no, it had like a month left for supplies, and then Cleaver is where they moved some of their troops. But I think Whitestone is the main hub for their like ships of supply and whatnot.
Mm.
So I think the sort of like the intel we acquired as far as like the mustering of troops and concentrations and stuff. It indicated so they had like one unit, which is essentially like 12 individuals occupying the fort that we took earlier, and I think the highest we saw in any of the other forts, 2 units, which is presumably 24 individuals, which I still think we could probably take. It might just be a bit more of a drawn out.
On that map, DM, did we see any of those like little troops on Whitestone? Or was Whitestone even on the map?
Wasn't even on the map.
Okay. Yet.
Indicationally,
the map was of Carden.
Okay, gotcha.
But
gotcha.
who do we want to focus on more too? Because we're talking about the Sotbens, but we're also talking about getting rid of the Lycoi. Which one do we want to focus on first?
Definitely the Denisopans. They're the main power, you know.
Yeah.
They're the main force right now that we need out of Carden.
Right. Well, the other option that we had previously also talked about was that if we get the Denisopans out of the Lycoi's favor, or the Lycoi out of the Denisopans' favor, then the Denisopans can kind of take care of the Lycoi for us. Because undead and vampires.
Oh no, the Denisopans don't care. I think.
I don't know. We had talked about it before, getting the proof. I think it was with Albrecht. I have it written down somewhere.
He wanted us to get the fruit from that tree.
Yeah.
And then bring it to him. I think it was either for Hawk's Roost, or he was gonna bring it to the conglomerate. I think, to get some help from them, or just have proof that some, magic fuckery is going on. I think it was one of those two.
Oh, for some reason I thought I remembered that it was to get the Denisopans against the Lycoi.
I mean, it might work.
It was originally to get proof regarding whether or not the Lycoi were vampires.
Yeah.
Or the Hawkroost people.
Yeah.
I mean, both is good, though.
Yeah, it's just, what do we want to focus on?
Right now, I think we want... Because we can get the fruit, like us, the group. And then we like...
Distraction.
Yeah, we can get the Whitecaps to disrupt the forts. And their supply. I think that's the main thing that we need from them. Because they have, obviously the bigger force.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, and they don't even need to directly confront the Denisopans. They can just do, guerrilla tactics and just be a real pain in their ass.
Yeah. Tactics we leave up to the Whitecaps.
We don't really need them to directly confront the Denisopans. We need them to just sort of disrupt them and keep them distracted and irritate the shit out of them.
But John, I
you
would
mean agitate them?
John, I would suggest that you lead with the fact that you have information on where their forces are stationed and have an idea of the supply lines, as opposed to just being like, hey, have you thought about doing... That's probably not gonna...
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
Alright,
DM.
Whenever you want to scene, where just you start it off.
He didn't give me his name, right?
He hasn't given his name yet, no.
Okay. I have what I want from the Whitecaps. I want to disrupt their supply lines. But I do have information on their forts that they have captured.
Yeah, I thought you might. With what everything Jay said regarding what you've been doing earlier today. Okay.
So, Orlandus pulls out a simple piece of parchment
Mm-hmm.
and all his cartography supplies, and he starts making a rough indication of where, like, their supply line is, Fort Whitestone, how many troops that he knows that were last there, and then he makes rough details specifically on the card end of, like, the indication of the 1 to 2 whatever, he's
many-
mimicking the map that we found.
Yeah, how many total markers were there? Do you remember?
Yes, there was 0 for Carver because we just took care of that.
No, total.
2
I
for
just need the total.
3, and then 3 off map. Wait,
Yeah. 4 on map.
yeah, 3, 4,
3 off map.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you draw out everything, and while you're doing so, he just disinterestedly continues to eat.
That's fine.
And as you finish the map, he kind of snaps at Jace. Jace walks over and takes the map from you, walks it across the table to him, hands it to him, and he sets it down after kind of pushing a plate or two away to make a space for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they divvied out all of Carver's forces, it looks like.
Yes, we have just came from Carver. That was where Jace was.
Yeah, I got that. That's why I said you probably had info. Okay, so you know where Carver's stuff went. That's great. And where it reinforced. And go ahead, focus back on that first part. You said you wanted something from me.
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're kind of an understanding. You are aware that this, and he kind of picks up the map, flutters it, and then kind of looks at Jace, who comes over and takes it back from him, isn't exactly sufficient trade for what you're asking, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. Also, you don't know much of our history. You are on a side that does have a lot of baggage. And
I am aware.
being told what to do isn't exactly something I'm terribly fond with. But I'm trying to put that to the side because I know you're a military guy. You're like a commander man from Parnak. They're all pointing
I am just
strategies and tacticianing and what have you. That's fine. Again, the reason why you're not currently dead is simply because I'm trying to take into account you're not Albrecht, and you don't know him too well, do you?
Not so much. We have
Great.
battled together, but that is it.
Great. It's a good answer. And I can tell you're not lying, because I don't think you would know to. Okay. Great. Great. Problem, though, with your proposed idea is it suffers from the problem of being very isolated in the fact that you don't really know what's going on here in Marshtown at all, do you?
No.
The reason why they've got Cleaver set up is that of Carver as being the prime source of their defenses now, as they try to mobilize and move to attack the people of Ordris who've moved onto the Isle, or moved onto the shore from the Isle, is because it's more readily defendable, and the pathway through it is a lot easier for troops to move through than what they can do between Sepulture's Barrow and Carver. You got into the Lycoy house, so I assume you understand that this whole place is built on something else, right?
Wait, one more time? I'm sorry. I didn't catch it.
You got into the Lycoy house, so I presume you understand that this whole place is built on something else, right?
Yes.
Yeah, same here. In fact, the roads you probably walked on here to get here, remnants of an older city. High rises. According to the historians, they stood some 400 or 500 feet. Now, nothing but pathways over silt. You probably saw a number of houses out there that were more freshly destroyed, though. Not so much things that were kind of caught up in the silt. Sound about right?
Yes.
We already tried to play the guerrilla tactics game. We already got knocked back into our place. That's why our operations don't happen outside or inside of Marshtown. And that's why when we go out incognito. Probably didn't find a white cap for Jace, did you?
No.
And they sure tried to make him tell him that he was one, didn't they, Jace? Sure did. Oh wait, I'm not that. That's not wrong one. That's not me.
What's
I got a
what's
British
the
accent.
prospector doing here?
What? He's the general store owner. So Jace replies, of course. And the boss says, so we don't typically play here. So the supply lines that are going through Midtown come through Marshtown. And they make their way to Cleaver. Fortifying all 150 of his little soldiery there. Your map there, 7 markers. Noted that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a total of about 20 men per. Not counting the command staff. About 140 soldier squads, from what we've been able to understand from our spies. So, you want a lot, and it sounds like you don't know what you're up against. A lot of information you don't have. And I appreciate the information you brought forward, because it's really useful. And you left Carver undefended, unheld, just broken.
Yes.
Do any damage to it?
Not that was already there.
That'll be my repayment for the map. I'll handle it.
Okay.
So, I don't really like your proposed action beyond that, because it's going to be involved in my neighborhood. So what else you got? What are you going to do? Let's imagine I did somehow curtail their supply lines to Cleaver. Then what? Their army marches north? Right through Marshtown? Is that what you want?
That would be very problematic.
You're damn right. I've already
Not
had
one.
that happen. And every so often we have a 20-man heading on through, one way or the other. They're specifically ordered not to be able to stop here in Marshtown. Some do. And then some disappear. Their uniforms heading back to the fort with another guy in it. Got a lot going on here. From the sounds of it, all you got going on is a couple of times you and a bunch of your adventurer types tried murdering people. Is that right?
Yes, we tried.
And you're a hireling, so fuck it, you know. You're getting paid.
Sort of.
Sure. Don't know why the fuck Blofield's with Albrecht, though. That still puzzles the shit out of me.
Why?
Because Albrecht's a piece of shit.
Is it? I don't know the full story between the Whitecaps and and Albrecht,
Well,
but
sure, here it goes. Denisovans came, and when they attacked the biggest fortified place they could, Tarn Keep, right off the bat. And did pretty well by it. Walls aren't really much of a help against those blues, though, to be sure.
Mm.
And some of the nobles got out. Guy who used to reside directly above us got out. Called him the Old Crow.
wait, he said who in the old crime?
He said the guy who used to live above us
Mm-hmm.
got out. Good man. The old crow. Master Ealer. Yeah. And then Albrecht started saying some pretty nasty things regarding some of the nobles who got out, specifically where they're located, to people who shouldn't have had to know. Certain cat people. It's really the reason why there isn't too much in the way of nobility around Cardend anymore. It's mostly just Albrecht hiding himself, and the noble lord of Lake Town, and of course the Lycoy. That's it. Because Albrecht got them all killed. Now he's playing some sort of game like he's gonna oust the Dennis Ottmans from the town? Or maybe he's more specifically focused on something that isn't quite Dennis Ottman related?
His main goal has been to get rid of the Lycoy.
Seems suspicious.
That is what he has told us from the beginning.
Seems suspicious. Get rid of all the nobility for what? Anyway, you be friends with him or not, I don't care. He's paying you. But to the point. Is that what you want to do? You want us to kill the Lycoy?
Do you know what they are?
Yeah.
Would it be beneficial for them to continue to live here?
I'm not saying they're good folk. But, I think the main reason why some people are trying to oust them isn't because they're bad. Because they're in better power positions than they are.
This is not what I want. I do not want their power.
Oh, it doesn't matter what you want. You're a hireling. You're getting paid to do what you do. But hey, you could always quit. And looks down, kind of just dips his fingers in some sort of like pudding or something.
Oh no, not that. That speaks too close to Jonah.
Yeah, because Florida. And he says, could work for me.
What would that mean?
I mean, kind of confused look. Takes a
Well,
swig of his
okay,
wine.
sorry, my bad.
Takes a swig of his wine and he's like, okay, so let me make sure I understand what he's eliciting here. You're a sellsword,
Yeah.
and he's saying he wants to buy. Who's breathing into their mic so much? It's Tom. It's a tense
Yeah.
moment.
He wants my services.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're getting Tom excited.
He wants my services in the adventuring group.
No, I just want yours.
That's fine.
Oh,
Who
just
does
mine?
Who does he need us to kill?
I think his first target would be Albrecht. But that's a big problem.
That's right. Well, you could just tell him that the cost of Albrecht is probably going to be Jace. So if we saved him, we will kill him just to prove a point.
He's already home.
What would my
We were friends.
Talking to
what
Clement.
what would you being my employer?
Well,
What do you need?
I would offer you whatever Albrecht is paying you. Add 50%. And I'd just keep you around for the same purpose, it seems. Strategy, tacticianing, being a Parnan military man to stand around and look all noble and shit, don't have much in the way of nobility around. Could be beneficial to have someone with this fancy armor as you standing next to me. As you might be able to notice, kind of like just gestures with his hands wide open, showing, he's not particularly fit. Very much looks very slovenly. Like his clothes are covered with, food stains. And he says, I don't exactly do polite company too well.
Would I have to betray Albrecht in
No.
order to...
No, what you'd have to do is just your first mission, in fact, if you were to take the task, would be to go to Albrecht and get the truth out of him. If that involved killing him, so be it. But I'd prefer you just rough him up. Or not at all. Just ask him, after learning what you know, why he's so dead set on the Lycoy. And why he did what he did to Master Ealer, to all the other folks he's caused problems with, all the nobility that's fallen because of him. You can get that answer from Albrecht, bring that on back to me. That'd be a great start to our transactional friendship. But it sounds like you have reservations. You're not quite driven by coin. Sounds like you're a believer. Is that about right?
All I wish to do is... I sound like a child every time I say this, but all I wish to do is what is right.
Yeah, no, I mean, optimism is a bit naive and childish, but hey, more power to you. Some people get their will to carry on from treasure. Others, food, narcotics, women, men, everything in between.
I do not care much for these things.
You got a sense of justice, sure. That's what you're looking for. Aren't we all, right? Who's at fault here, though? A lot of gray. A lot of silt to sift through. Like a prospector who works at the general store. What? How? How'd you know I was here? I'm sorry, I just like...
Talking about me!
I can hear. My ears are tickling.
So, before we continue,
Ears
what was the noble's name? Master what?
The one that lived above? Ealer. E-E-L-E-R.
E-L-E-R. Okay, so ask Albrecht about why he's so dead set on the Lycoy and why he did what he did to Master Ealer.
And the other nobles.
And the other noble. Okay. Shit.
You can do that on your own if you want. We don't even have to come to a transactional agreement, but I'm pretty sure if I've got the measure of the man right, it's going to mean that you're going to be looking for work soon after. But hey, you want what's right? I want to... What do I want? Sometimes it's hard to really kind of decide on something so far in the future, or even just the next day, really, that you want, that you're gunning for, that you're aiming to do. I get that. I would say that what I want, more than anything, is for us to be left the fuck alone. People of Marshtown are good folk. We get by, don't need much from the outside world. Maybe an occasional treasure. Or, person, drug, booze, whatever. Diversity is the spice of life. But I don't want people coming through moving their shipments to a fort that doesn't even really protect me. I don't want folks knocking over our buildings just because we got upset at them first. It's kind of a bit much in response. And I don't want my folks scrapping with your folks just because of the guy you're running for. But it's going to keep happening. Because I'm not the only one who holds the same opinions. A lot of folks in town have been bit pretty solidly by your outbreak. A lot of the merchant folk turned smuggler, turned bandit. So, yeah. Ask him. If you don't want to be a hireling for me, that's fine. But if you do, offers on the table. And I'll handle that Carver situation, don't you worry. It might cause you problems. Might cause some heat, but the problem won't be a problem anymore.
Okay. I will. After I find the truth, I will come back.
If you want. Or don't, I don't care.
Nonetheless, I appreciate your time.
You know, I appreciate you saving Jace's life.
He does a slight bow in his chair. And then he starts getting up to go.
Jace will lead you out. And he doesn't go up with you. He just kind of like makes the symbol onto the platform, then steps off of it as it ascends back up.
Okay.
And you're free to leave, or you're free to go up the stairs and try and be stealthy.
Nah, he leaves.
The smart boy. I'd say about
So,
20 or so minutes pass before he comes back out and everyone's just kind of standing around. Or are you doing something in the 20 minutes?
No, not really.
Castia was thinking about waving at the people watching them, but then kind of got that everybody else was tense and decided that would probably not be a good idea.
For sure.
so when Orlando steps out, you see that there is like from what you can see from his face under the helmet, there's a bit of like there's a very serious look on his face. And
no.
when he sees you guys, it kind of eases, but it's barely.
Glint smiles at him and says, "So, how'd it go?"
It went mixed. There are many things that we do not know that we should have known. And he gets into the process of telling everyone about what he just learned.
Interesting.
I thought I was fighting for the right cause. Under the right ruler.
Castia is gonna look a little concerned for a moment and just kind of be like, I thought I asked Battlefield about that on the way back because she said something about Albrecht, and I just thought that I didn't know. You guys didn't know? It wasn't just me this time?
What did she say?
No, just a lot of those same things about taking business out of Marshtown and some people being mad at him about it. Nothing. Let me think.
What kind of business?
I think it was like just normal business, not people selling swords.
I think we need to find Albrecht. He needs to answer for some questions.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I would usually just ask you.
Okay, let us go. We shall leave Marshtown.
Okay, heading back to Midtown.
Yeah.
Can we stop to pan for gold on the way, or is that not...
I don't think we're allowed.
I said, doggone it, it's all gone. That's all gone. Whippersnappers like you came and made it all silty.
That's the business Albrecht took with him.
Yeah.
The gold?
That's why they got.
Okay.
That's why they hate him.
Back up.
Bathild's farm is 19, right?
Yeah, back up for a long. Yeah, you're all kind of on the wrong spot, I guess.
Yeah, we gotta move.
Oh
Alright.
god, did we just teleport?
Do I feel anything when passing by that question mark where I threw up?
Nope.
Okay.
But you know, there's like loose graves up that way.
Yeah, we're gonna go there eventually at some point.
Yeah, you may not know that you're going there.
True. True.
Oh man.
So,
Just gonna wear you like a snuggie. Just fucking take
True
you where
that.
I want.
take me to the ground. So when we get to Bathild's farm, who's
Yeah.
all out there?
Everybody except for Albrecht.
Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Who the fuck is that guy?
You want to
Castiel-
just start running around and shaking people? Where's
Castiel
Albrecht?
will,
Tell me, you son of a bitch!
Castiel will go over and approach Balthild and be like, I think the rest of them found out the stuff that you told me earlier, and I think Orlandus needs to talk to somebody about it.
Oh. Oh, you mean about Albrecht?
Yeah.
Looking at Orlandus? Is that a problem?
It is no issue, but I need to hear the whole truth.
Well, good luck. You're not gonna get it from him. One thing I've learned about him, and I think most of the folks here would agree, is Albrecht's relationship structures aren't exactly like other folks. He very much sets up a dynamic where he has something over you, a bit of leverage, some means of keeping you loyal. And you're already got. He pays you.
Does he though?
Mobility.
Yeah.
They're
He
all the
does
same,
pay?
aren't they?
The money goes back to your family, remember?
Oh, fuck. That's true.
Should negotiate a better contract, my dude.
Could adjust.
You were right there.
Yeah, the best thing to do when you're not getting satisfactory treatment from an employer is to tell them that someone else is willing to hire you.
True.
Or
that.
start a union.
Or start a union. Call it the agitators. Really piss them off.
Yeah.
You copyright infringing sons of bitches!
It's like, we're gonna need some help.
Bathild, we
I
are
know a guy
starting a
named
union.
Roland. He's a specialist at this kind of thing.
Our Midtown.
But, not too often I hear about sellswords having reservations. But, great.
Well, yeah, if they reserve their swords, how can they sell them?
Yeah, more than fair. She gets it. For all I know, she was born yesterday.
She wasn't.
No, it's been... I remember more than just yesterday.
It's just amnesia, I keep telling you. There's no way a fully formed girl like yourself just manifested from thin air.
Did we ever get the name of the old guy that lives in the mansion? We did, right?
The one that's literally never gonna answer his door.
Yeah.
That John already
Oh.
told us is never gonna talk with us, and we
Oh
should
my
just
God.
move on. That one?
You remember that time? You remember that place we've gone to twice and have gotten 0 results from? What if we tried it a third time?
Third time's
Alright,
the charm.
And
Alright.
for your notes,
Let's
Jonah,
not
this
do
is
it.
the
We're
time
not
to start
doing it.
typing or writing down. You ready?
I have.
Victicus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man's name is Victicus. Write it down, buddy.
Victicus. I
You
got
So
it.
it's Sir Victicus. It's on my notes for number 7.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's Sir
No,
Victicus
I
the
have-
Never
Complete
Answering.
sage guy.
That's his full title. Sir Victicus the Never Answering.
The guy who gave like the window peak when a fucking airship crashed into his neighbor's house.
Yeah, he's got
It's
a
like-
no solicitation sign on his door, Orlandus, and you just don't fucking pay attention to it. You
That's fair. That's fair. So wait. So then, where the fuck is Master Ely?
Healer was in the house that you just went into, the tower building. He lived
Oh,
above.
okay. Alright, I'm stupid. Forgive me.
He said the guy who lived above us.
Yeah.
He meant
That's
it
why you
literally.
asked
He
me.
doesn't live anywhere.
Yeah. That's why you asked me
And
if I
also, he
wanted to
doesn't
go
live
up.
anywhere.
I'm
He's
sorry.
dead. That's true. Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
He died.
He literally does not live anywhere.
It was probably one of these days for him.
Jesus Christ.
Well, who left the elevator down? It was them all along. Okay. Anyways, back to.
Jesus Christ.
Back in it.
Yep.
Blathill doesn't know exactly where Albrecht is, but his presence is not unknown where he's located. And so you would actually get that information from Lana, and Lana would tell you that he went to go and speak with who was it? Oh, right, Kevar Varnador.
Oh, brilliant.
That's house number 5. Just 2 doors down from Sir Victicus the Never Answering.
Yep. So you can pass by it when you're on your way there if you're going.
Yeah, if you want to knock on the way, I mean, you certainly
We're
could
gonna
waste your
go.
time again, yeah.
We're gonna go look for Albert.
Okay.
And we're gonna knock on it. No, we're not. We're
No.
not gonna knock on it.
Logan's
And we're gonna ask him for a raise.
whip you by your ear like you're a child.
Alright, so we go to Kavar Vanador's
Okay.
estate.
So Astrogoth by this point will split up with the group and remain with the agitators. He states that he's just going to. He's a bit tired and was kind of annoyed by the fact that they didn't want to hear him play music. That sounds like a good excuse, right?
Yeah.
The people in Marshtown didn't want to hear him either.
Oh yeah. Also yeah. She keeps lagging and she keeps on having these really good I want to print screen capture.
Yeah.
But every time I go for it, like right now I'm gonna go for it and it started.
No, I told you.
See?
That
Yeah.
Body.
Oh, she's all the way over there.
That's how you fix it. Just threaten to take another screen cap of it, and she'll start working again.
So
No, I won't.
if you had
No, you did though. You just.
I did.
Yeah.
if you head to the Tinker's home, I would like for everybody to go ahead and make perception checks.
Oh man. Oh. Hey.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Hey. Oof.
Two of you, as you're making your way onto the path that kind of leads up the lake and to his house, you see that he is on the lake. He is on a small little kind of looks like a broken wooden bridge or kind of just a very poorly kind of made dock. And he's sitting on the edge of it. Looks like he has a fishing pole.
Are we fishing?
And it looks like he's just sitting there, kind of not really paying attention. And the music switched to the music for this spot. I need to switch it back to what it was on because I like the somber. We're going for the somber.
This is what he does with his free time instead of trying to help. This is what he does.
Makes sense.
Well, there he is.
Nobles.
Fucking
Nobles
lazy
don't
dog.
have to work.
And this is Albrecht, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Orlandis is gonna make his presence known. He's not gonna stomp on the wood, but
Are you gonna announce your presence by being like, "Hey, fuck face"?
It doesn't look very sturdy, but once you get out onto it, you realize that there are planks underneath that seem to be kind of, or stone or something that's holding it in place. It's not moving very much.
Okay, that's good. Alright, so then, Orlandis is gonna make his way to Albrecht. And when he gets to the bout right here, he's gonna ask him, Albrecht,
Hi, Orlandis.
I have gotten some information.
Sure you have.
Is it true what the Whitecaps say about you?
What are they saying?
That you ousted the nobles? And you wish to become one yourself?
Did he tell you who they were planning on siding with?
No.
Of course he did. He just kind of looks out on the water. It's kind of into night now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And the starlight's well enough to kind of like see into the kind of crystal clear lake that you know full well descends quite deeply. He doesn't really look back at you. So, I'm currently sending a lot of money to Parnak for your services. Do I need to justify those services to you?
I just want to know the truth.
I
What
just
is it?
told you the truth.
I am well aware.
The nobles who escaped were the ones who led them there. The ones who are still fighting
Yes.
were the ones that had second thoughts.
What does it mean by the ones that are still fighting?
Him.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. And I just want to make sure you understand what he just said. The people who escaped Tarn Keep when it was attacked were the ones who led the Denisovans there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, the ones that are still fighting are the ones that had second thoughts.
Oh.
Shit. Oh, okay.
Now I understand Mortimer has his problems with me, and that's fine. I don't really care. But if you want to take his word over mine, that's fine too. I don't think I can afford you much longer. And with everything that we haven't been able to accomplish, our failings thus far, starting to become concerned if there's even a possible course to victory.
I don't know, Albrecht.
Well,
It is getting more difficult with the day.
yeah, I know. That's why I'm paying so much. All my life savings, everything I've put up, all the money I took from people who probably needed it. All the land I sold to the Denisotvans in preparation for this. Yeah.
Can I ask why?
Well, it seemed like it was going to be seamless. The Denisovans had already caused problems for a number of different locations. And word of their ferocity, it wasn't unknown to us what was going to happen. What did it eventually happen? Most of the nobility of Tarn, of Carden proper, they were like me now. I don't know if they had the right of it, but I try to make sure that I'm living to the right of it every day. At least now. But we were promised a lot. When we got out, I started to think about what had really happened there. And when I brought up my reservations, some of the other nobles didn't think they could trust me anymore. And after the first attempt on my life, I realized it was a kill or be killed situation.
So what are we to do now?
The way that these Denisovans hold rulership over us is because they still have an anchor in our noble structure. The Lycoi have power over a number of different houses, positions of power here and around. The reason why goods move at their behest isn't because they're forcing them to. Hell, most of the time they don't even put their guards on the supply lines because they know no one's going to mess with them. You know why? They're paying the people moving them. And the people that are moving them are just like you and me, folk who live here in town. Works good, doesn't matter who's paying the bill. Most folk in Midtown, most folk in Lake Town, most folk up on the Lumberjack Hill, hell, most folk in Sepulchre's Barrow probably, with the exception of the Denisovans themselves. And hell, definitely most people in Marshtown don't give a fuck who's paying them.
Hmm.
And, to be honest, the power that was allowed to be taken by the Lycoi was problematic. A lot of the holdings that I thought I was selling to the Denisovans, I wasn't. A lot of the positions of power that I had before all this ended up in the Lycoi's hands. It's a very sordid political game that's taken the better part of a decade to hash out, and not something that I feel like going over too much again. But in short, my life was on the chopping block for the 4 other nobles. Master Ealer came for my life. Well, his servants did. They didn't make it out.
Mm.
I met with Master Ealer. He tried it again. I got out okay. He didn't. The other 2 don't matter. Let their names sink to the bottom of the lake. And the rest in the forest. I don't care. But, yeah. That's it. That's the long and short of it, Orlandis. And the Lycoi have the power here. It's not the Denisovans who are pulling the strings. They don't care about the town and how the town operates. And people follow the Lycoi because they have the benefit of the Watch, which is now Denisovan in its entirety. Wasn't to begin with.
Okay. I do appreciate your honesty.
Yeah,
I
and
will.
I yours, but like I said, the way things are going, I don't see much of a point in keeping it up.
There is only one last thing we can do then.
Whatever you need to.
I propose we join with the Whitecaps
Okay.
and we make one final last ditch assault on Sepulchre's battle.
Yeah. You were able to talk to Mortimer?
I was able to have a meeting. And I will be honest. He does not care for you. He does not like.
I don't like his fat ass either.
That is not the point here. What I am saying is he wants me to take you over there so he can have his way. But even with all the hiding and the lies,
Whoa. Did she? You there, Elizabeth?
What?
Elizabeth dropped from the chat or the.
Oh, she might have gotten disconnected.
I guess her internet was more than a little
Yeah,
spotty.
her internet was exploding. I don't have another me I can put in there, but
Oh
it's
no.
fine. Okay, sorry. Continue. There's a little just population on the stream, but it's no big deal.
Okay. Oh shit, where was I? Oh, okay. I wish, even with all the hiding and the lies, with the hiding of the truth, I I am still loyal, and I do wish to get rid of the Lycoi
Great.
for even my own personal reasons.
If you're gonna
But
do it, then do it, and just let me know who you need to help.
I need everyone.
Great. Full low. Let's go. Whenever you're ready, set it up.
We need to go to Marshtown now.
You taking
You
me
and
to
I.
Marshtown to meet with Mortimer?
Yes.
All right.
I will do all in my power to make sure you two at least meet face to face.
Okay. Fine. Um. No big deal. Not like it'd be the first time I've had them trying to kill me. Certainly won't be the last. Okay. He gets up, kind of just sets his fishing pole to the side there. And when he does so, and you take a look at it, you notice that there's no string on it.
It was just chilling. He was waiting. He
And
knew.
he walks with you. And if you and him go to Marshtown,
Well, before that,
okay.
I'm gonna tell Bethild to get everyone and bring them here to her farm.
Mm-hmm.
And before we actually leave, I'm gonna tell them that there will be one final assault, with or without the white caps. We are assaulting Sepulture's Barrow tonight.
At nighttime, you want to attack a vampire at nighttime.
Okay, maybe in the morning. In the morning. At dawn.
Just wanted to make sure you
Yeah, sorry.
knew what you
about
were
that.
saying.
It's the thing they'd last expect.
Their nighttime. So yeah, we go.
Okay.
After that, we go. Go to
Um,
Marshtown.
Cool. So, who are you taking with you to Marshtown?
Everyone in Albrecht.
Okay.
Not like everyone from the farm, but the party in Albrecht.
Got it. You make it to Marshtown without issue. You make it in, and if you kind of just walk in like you own the place, you head towards where you last saw him. Guy comes out to the balcony, looks down, kind of suspiciously looking at you.
Is he in earshot?
Yeah, he's right on the balcony.
I've brought Albrecht. I wish to meet.
Yeah. You and yours can come in.
Thank you.
When
So
you
we all go down.
when you enter into the space, you realize that you don't really have a way down because there's no person there that's kind of helping you
Yeah.
do anything. But once you kind of come into the round room, two people come downstairs, and kind of stop at the top of the steps.
Mm-hmm.
They sit down on the step that's kind of at the top but visible.
Yeah.
And you can see that they kind of settle what look to be like very heavy crossbows in their laps. Kind of looking at you. They look like what you'd expect of
Yeah.
a kind of cutthroat here. And Albert kind of, sizes them up looking at them. And then
I want to make sure that I am in between them so they have a hard shot if they
Sure.
do decide to shoot.
you then hear a voice kind of just speaking. Can't really tell from where, but you recognize the voice. Well, hello there, Sir Lordy Lord. Welcome to the Low People Town.
Is that Mortimer?
Yep.
Okay.
Now you're not going to come out. It's better this way, I think. Fair enough. So, will you help us? We have a plan. Gestures to you, Orlandis, to kind of like tell the plan. And
Yeah, he
explain that
steps.
at first light we're gonna go fight a vampire and take down his house. Mortimer's voice kind of, oh, exciting. Yeah, not many people I'm willing to send into a death trap, but you know what? I'll send some folks. Not many. Where do you want to meet up in the morning?
Shit.
Albrecht immediately cuts in and says, we'll meet just at the north end of Red Hill.
Okay.
And then he kind of says, oh, Lawfield's camp? Albrecht immediately says, no. Unless you want to mess with her and her family. Well, absolutely not. And then he says, it probably won't amount for anything. But, I'm sorry. The voice kind of just stays quiet for a bit. Yeah, sure you are. We'll meet you at the north side of Red Hill. First light. And by we, I mean my people. I'm not going. I like living. And then in response to that, Albrecht, in kind of like a cocky parroting of what he just said, of course you do. See you then. Albrecht kind of moves towards the door.
Before we leave, Orlando's is going to say, if we survive, I will be in need of a job.
You actually hear the guys on the desk go, and you can actually hear the ghostly voice of Mortimer laughing as well. Albert kind of, we'll see about that.
So then we go back to Midtown.
And you're kind of confused as to why he didn't make any moves or do anything crazy.
A little bit, yeah.
Not much was discussed between him and Albrecht this time.
I hope they don't plan on betraying us on the fucking spot. Fucking hope.
Okay. So do you take your long rest?
Yeah.
I guess so.
But before we do that, I'm gonna go check out that spot.
You're
That
gonna
question
go,
mark.
What?
I'm gonna go check out that question mark.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, this is where it happened. I made a bad decision, you guys. Fuck. Oh, no.
What are you doing, my dude?
I'm just going to the question mark. That was where I vomited.
So the experience is going to be a total of 840.
Oh, okay. Wait. Why did we get it? Oh, yeah, because of the...
So close.
We never... Okay, okay.
Less than 1,000.
You got it. I see you typing.
Nope, not 23, 26.
And John, I will ask my beloved question of how many hours of the book Castia was able to
How many did you have left?
chew through. 3.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
So we each get 840.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so that's
945.
So
No, wait. Actually, I think I need more than that.
I'm gonna pause here for a second. What I'm gonna suggest, I'm gonna really quick communicate with Elizabeth. I just want to see what's going on there internet-wise.
okay.
Yep, 14,000.
Yeah, damn. I thought I was so close.
Yeah, I need 945.
I need so much. I need 4,000. Oh, okay. The round.
I want level 6 so bad.
Oh,
It's always
she's
that
back.
damn round.
Sorry.
Yeah, so
So-
what I'm gonna say, if you're having problems, I'm gonna go ahead and just like, I'm not running for 3 people anymore.
No. It's back up. I just had to
Okay.
restart my router.
Yeah, I got you.
So we just did a thing.
Spectrum
Yep.
just sucks. I heard the last end of it because I listened on Twitch on my phone.
Oh,
Yeah, Jonah decided we're all dying.
we're all done.
Thanks, Jonah.
You're welcome.
Oh, catch
Happening
me up on
again!
Yeah.
who we're fighting or what we're doing.
We are.
Don't worry about it.
We are going straight to the
Dang.
home base.
Like Koi Manor?
Yep. And we're bringing everyone
Why?
because that's literally the last thing we could do.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
There's
not the last thing
no.
that they can do, but
It's the
it seems
last
to be the
thing.
thing that he wants to do. So.
The
That's,
last thing.
that's fine, I guess.
No, I'm right. Actually,
The last thing we can do.
the last thing, guys. We gotta do it.
Alright, so here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Last thing.
And-
We'll say
said-
you are gonna challenge the head Lycoid to a single duel.
I
Yeah.
have 26 HP.
No,
we,
we're long
no, we took a
resting.
long rest.
We're long resting.
No, that is my total HP.
What?
Yeah.
That
I
can't
don't
be
have
right.
a lot of HP.
How is that right?
I don't think that's right.
I'm gonna check and see if
I,
that's
I
right.
also don't think that's right.
Yeah, you have
That's
a
what
+2
my
con
HP
modifier. You're 5th level. Hold on.
Yeah.
26.
What level did you start off as?
4, I
Okay.
think.
And what did you roll for your 5th level? Do you remember?
I think we were just taking averages.
We
Yeah,
were
I think-
taking averages on this one.
Oh, okay. So then it would be 10 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. You're at 34 without your con modifier. Plus 10.
Then why do I have 26
I don't
as my
know.
max HP?
I don't
You-
know, homie.
I think you took an energy drain attack at some point and just didn't recover it after the long rest.
No, I.
No, actually, she, I believe, she should have more hit points than me. Actually.
44 is what you should have.
Oh, so she has the same as me, but I've also got a permanent -5 reduction because I ate the bad apple.
Have you been running around with 26 fucking HP this entire time?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the big leagues.
Hey, let's go.
I was about to say, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Now you can take 2 disgusting hits.
At
I
least.
thought it was low, but I was just like, all right, I trust it. Whatever.
No,
It's-
Hunty.
I know why.
That's low.
I know why.
Cheat.
I think I know why. It's because the hold on a second here.
Is it because Duelist is fucky wucky? Did I just
That-
not add my average HP?
Well, I don't think
you
it's
did.
leveling you up correctly because it's not a class that is.
Well, I have to level by like manually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing manual. Entered everything by hand. I don't know.
Yeah, you can
26.
take him. With
That
we
44
prefer
HP.
we prefer to call it artisanal leveling, Jonah.
Uh,
The 26 HP at level 5 didn't seem sussy.
I mean, it did a little bit, but I was just like, sounds fair, I guess. I don't know. And we got how much?
840.
Yeah, 840. Man,
I'm checking something real quick too. It might be more.
Okay.
Is it your cat butt?
Cat butt.
Okay, let me do the math correctly. Hold on. So 5 times 4 is 20, because the duelist is a D8.
Yeah.
Okay. And then plus 10 from con modifier. Plus 8 to start. 38 is the actual total.
Oh, so it's not 44.
Yeah. Or, why did I type 36? I'm dumb today.
Oh no.
Let me make sure my math's right. 20 plus 8 plus 10. Plus 8 plus 10. Yeah, 38. Okay. Leave me alone. My calculator was being goofy. Okay, nobody leveled?
Nope.
No.
Alright.
I did get stronger through the magic of books, but that's about it.
Oh, did you finish your book?
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Congrats.
Alright. Okay.
So wait, who are we fighting again?
All the vampires.
All of the vampires.
All of them.
Everyone at once.
Every one of them.
With
Okay.
who?
Everyone
Just
all
us?
together, all at once.
No, it's with everyone from the agitators and a couple from the whitecaps.
Some
Oh,
number
they're
from the
actually gonna help
Whitecaps.
us? Wow.
Yeah.
They said they were going to send people, yeah.
I mean, they didn't specifically say they were going to help us. They just said they were going to send people.
And did you say in the midst of all of that you were trying to go and look at the question mark?
He did.
I
I
did.
did hear
Okay,
that
I
on
just wanted to
Twitch.
make
I
sure
did.
about that.
I did.
That was something I actually
before-
heard. You could have said no, and I would have believed you, or I would have.
On a scale of 1 to Genie, how bad is that decision gonna
Yeah,
be?
word. Can I change my mind and be like, can we do that another time?
You had your chance to change your mind,
Caleb
and you doubled
specifically
down.
said it before the long rest. He was gonna check out the.
So since it's nighttime, but it's well starlit, when you go over to check it, you will
Oh.
note that there does appear to be, and only from this vantage point, when you kind of get up onto this small hill that's north of Red Hill, that at the base of Red Hill, kind of down to the south, you can see what looks like a light. There's no building there, but it's a light like there was a building there. But to your knowledge, there's not supposed to be a building there.
Oh.
And then the other thing you notice in the starlight is that all across the freaking grounds here in the center, all about, are these massive footprints.
Hmm.
Like the size of, well, roughly the size of a house wide.
Oh.
Pairs. But the footprints you're looking at look like they come from some sort of bird-like creature. Like
Oh
bird.
no.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Oh no.
Fucking awesome. Can
Oh,
I turn
no.
around? Or do I have to go forward?
Oh no.
There's also a bunch of grays around you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like the coolest
mhm.
place
This
to
is
be.
fine.
And
Yeah,
then, like,
this is
the,
fine.
The screen stops, and then like the scrolling text in a small little white box comes up in the top corner. It says, "What a terrible night to have a curse," and then the
Mhm,
screen
mhm.
changes to like slightly purpler version of what you were
Mhm,
looking at.
mhm.
And then out of nowhere, a
God.
fucking marsh monster just jumps out and shoots water in your face, and you die.
Okay.
It's a Castlevania reference.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna
Well, no, yeah.
head out now.
So Chicken Prince, what appears to be a house over that way by the small little bit of water, and but down by the creek, as we would say.
I'm by the
Mhm.
creek.
And then there's a bunch of gravestones around you.
Now, on one hand, there is the Avram response. And then, on the other,
Let's be honest. There's a Jonah
There's-
response. Let's stop
not
buttering
bring
it up.
Avram
Let's
Alright,
stop
alright.
changing
Let's
it to
not-
something it isn't.
let's not blame Avram. There's the Jonah
Let's just blame
response.
Jonah.
And then there's the Orlandis response.
What about the Balrog
Orlandis
response?
Balrog.
You forgot.
Orlandis would make the good decision and turn around.
That's smart. Yeah. Okay. So you
And
head
go
back.
back.
I'm
to
proud of
the
you,
house,
buddy.
take your long
I'm proud of
rest,
you.
And
Good
you
job.
wake up the next.
I think you should get 10 extra experience for character growth right there.
I'll allow it.
Nice.
Okay, fine. I'll just.
I'll take
I'll take it.
I'll take your 10 experience and I will write it down.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that 10.
Of course you will.
Every penny helps.
So are these bird prints fresh?
Saw him in the middle of the night, so
Magic.
and it was just
Um,
Orlandis.
Yeah, so Orlandis will go back, finish that long rest, and then
Never speak of this
Continue.
incident again.
never again. And then
We got
get ready
other
for
things to do.
yeah, we have better things to do for
Okay, so I'm gonna move us to. Wow, I don't have a start. I don't have a start.
now. We start on the north end of Red
no,
Hill.
No. That's not what I'm saying, my friend.
Okay.
I guess
So this we're what? We're barreling straight into the barrel and going straight through the front door.
Why
Yep,
not?
Fuck.
that is
Okay.
the goal. We're going straight in, all the way.
So the map's just a placeholder, or the background is just a
Balls
placeholder.
deep.
Whoa.
But as you
Yeah,
can
that's-
see,
That's all our people.
that's all the people,
At least half are gonna die.
and then
You don't know that.
Less than half of what I'd hoped for.
and everybody is as
Everyone, don't forget to add all your stuff after the long rest.
No, nobody leveled up, sadly.
No, the resources and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
You
Those are gonna come in
like,
handy.
there's a nice little. Oh yeah, I should.
That's it. That's all he sends.
one more.
Okay. Is it Mortimer himself?
No.
Damn.
He ain't fighting.
Yeah, he's not gonna fight with us.
That's
It'd be
not
pretty
what I
cool
said.
if he did, though.
You're gonna come out riding on a big fat goat.
Yeah.
You know, that would be cool, actually. Changed my mind.
Good pitch. Good pitch.
He was.
The only sound that the goat makes is that screaming one from the vine.
Actually,
The Taylor Swift one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever heard a goat like flap its tongue?
Yeah.
Once. Yeah.
That is pretty fucking funny.
All of a question.
What about questions?
Have you ever heard a goat flap its tongue? Is a hell of a question.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
A
So,
string of words that does not belong together.
I mean, it depends
Ooh.
on where you're from.
the Whitecaps that show up in the middle of the morning, you see 5 guys who you kind of, you're like, yeah, that those look like common bandit types. They have their white, caps on under their hoods, so they're not immediately notated or marked as such. And then you see a sight to be seen, to be sure, a drow elf in the middle of the morning, who appears to be wearing a kind of wide-brimmed hat over his white hair, but you can still see his, drow features. But the hat's very wide-brimmed and it's kind of tipped low, so he doesn't have to look at the sun.
Okay.
And yeah, this group kind of approaches as you kind of make your way to where they were kind of just lounging about. The drow looks to your group and says, "Who's in charge?"
Points
Is
to
Albrecht here?
Orlando's.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Albrecht is there, but he will defer since you're the one who's strategizing here.
Yeah, so Orlando steps forward.
All right. So you've got a way in.
We have several. But the one we will be taking is this one. And I show them the map.
Yeah.
And it's the one that goes I can't remember, but is there a way that goes
I have several. Could you tell me what they are?
No.
So
I remember
prepared.
several. Because there was one where we went through the front door that led like next to that that crypt where Grandpappy was. Then there was the way
That was not
off.
the front door.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, that wasn't the front
We,
door.
we jumped
That
out a
was
window
second-
for that, I think.
That was a second story
Forgot.
window.
Sorry.
The primary way that we have to get in is
the back
around
way.
those bones
Right.
and in through the
Oh,
tunnel.
around
Honestly,
the
if we're
big-
going to go in
big
during the
one.
day, that's probably the first place we want to go because
Well, that's all well and good, but I will let you know that moving through this is going to require us to have a means of just appearing there, right on the scene of the bones, because we can't move in from the north field, we can't move in from the south field, and there's no way I'm walking through the stout wood at current. So,
Right. We should have met somewhere else so we could go through the sewers.
Sewers?
Yes.
At their turn.
There is the way through the sewers.
He says,
There's definitely a way through the sewers.
I do like a good underground area. Great, lead the way.
Okay, so we're going to go find the nearest manhole cover.
Yeah, so you head out towards Tarn, and you manage to find an access point. You spend the better part of the next 2 or so hours moving through the tunnels. You pass through the normal areas. Nothing has changed very much or substantially. The waterfall at the strange point is still there.
Is the corpse crawler's corpse still there?
Yeah, well, a lot of it's been kind of washed away by the water, actually. So there's still a good sloughing of it, but it's mostly kind of been disintegrated by the churning water.
Because I know we like hacked the door right through it.
Yeah, it was right there on the water area, so it's kind of slowly, kind of just in the last few days, just kind of sloughed into the water.
As long as there's still enough of it for Glenn to be like, impressive, right? We killed that fucker.
Astrogoth obviously did
It was a team effort.
Unlike the dragon, which Castia killed.
Yeah, that
Right.
was a solo mission there.
That's not true. It was Castia and Sarth.
And you start heading across town. You make your way to the sewer. You descend down. You head across the sewer way. You end up back at the Titan's grave. And then
I was Bethilde throughout this entire travel.
everybody's pretty quiet and focused. Like, there really isn't much conversation that's happening between the agitators now that they have these kind of interlopers amongst their number.
Gotcha.
The bandits don't seem like put off. They just seem like, they're here, and they're also not chatty. The drow elf, he is pretty cool and like collected in his like cadence. Like, he hasn't seemed kind of off or weird. And just again, the descriptor for the drow, because I know we've described it before, but I just want to make sure we understand the nature of drow in my world. They're not evil by birth. They're not like raised in a horrible society that's backstabbery. Their spider god is not a spider god of like treachery and deceit. No, it's the Dreamweaver, Makema, and it's not really a god, it's a power. But they believe that instead of entering into a trance that puts them in touch with the Feywild, their trance links them to the dream world or a dream state. And what they do is they form enclaves just like regular elves. But these enclaves' main purpose is to create a dreaming, which is a space that they all kind of connect to, and in that space they live. So they all just kind of trance, and then the people who are not trancing are guardians. And some people become disillusioned with the dreaming and move into the real world, and this drow, who you are just meeting, seems to be one of those individuals. So they're not, like, evil. Elves typically kind of, like, they're weird. They're just weird to them because they're not.
I don't know. I think living in a collective lucid dream sounds pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's dope. But like for elves who trance to the Feywild and are like connected to Magicka, like it's a very kind of like weird thing to think about. Like you're severing yourself from that to be.
Okay, my next character is going to be a drow, and I'm never going to play him because he's never going to leave.
Perfection. But yeah. You enter into the Titan area. So from that position, how would you like to proceed?
So first,
yeah,
I want to get the magic casters to see if they can see any type of abjuration or type of alarm that could be here, and then for them to dispel it, if there is one.
Go ahead and roll a d20 once. There's one spellcaster on my NPC chart. Any other spellcasters who want to see if they can make a Arcana check to see if they can detect?
Well, I'm not exactly a spellcaster, but I am proficient in Arcana.
Yeah, and since you've fallen for it before, go ahead and make a check with advantage.
Okay.
Ooh,
Castillo got an
Castillo.
18 or a 23 with advantage.
So 22 with advantage.
Yep. So the same kind of alarm trap the two of you will kind of note that Glint fell to before does appear to be in place at the top of the cavern and at the bottom.
Mm.
Lana will state, I mean, it's there, but I'll be honest, it's a bit of a resource to get rid of it. I only have one cell of energy within myself to be able to cast a spell like that.
Okay. So Glint is going to invisible mage hand a stick. Just a random stick. It just Jedi's to his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts drawing in the dirt. And he explains to them, he's like, we're going to go down this tunnel. At the bottom of the tunnel is a chamber. Off a little bit from that chamber is a room full of coffins where all the vampires should be sleeping. That room is guarded by a shield guardian. Basically, getting into that room, disabling the shield guardian, getting into those sarcophagi, and slaying the vampires within. That should be our main objective, our first objective. And I agree with you. It might not be worth the drain on resources to dispel these two alarms for a slight bit of advantage. But now that I've sort of sketched out what you should be expecting once we go down through that tunnel, we should be able to.
I'm either dispelling it or I'm not, Lana says.
No. Do not.
I
It
only
is
have
away.
one means of this power. I can't do it multiple times. I'm not that powerful a spellcaster. If one
No.
amongst
They're
your number,
expecting us already.
It is a waste. It would be a waste of your skills. It would be better just to go down there and kill them.
okay.
One more thing. In this room here, they potentially have an undead spirit found.
No, we know that that's dead already.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they had set up some sort of device or ritual
No,
to
they
find
just
it.
butchered it and left its ashes.
And then
Do
stole all its stuff.
all of you have a piece of wood?
Everybody in the party should have 3 stakes.
No.
I have 2.
The rest of them.
I guess I could have taken. No, I would have kept it in them. I have 2.
Do all of you know how to take care of vampires?
No, that's your job, Albrecht says, and kind of looks at you. They'll fight, but again, I don't think many of them are going to be keen with a lot of the things that you've been saying. I know my folk, and looks over at the drow. Pretty sure your folk are not terribly keen on the idea. You're not wrong. They are a bit greedy.
Okay.
That's why they were sent.
Well, if your guys aren't keen on getting their hands dirty by trying to kill a vampire,
If they knock one down, you can rush over and help them. But it's probably not going to be the case that they're going to be in a position where they're going to elicit a killing blow, is what I'm
no.
putting forward.
I think if nothing else, they could focus on trying to distract the shield guardian.
Fair enough.
Okay. We have
And
a
then
plan
we
then.
could, work on dispatching the vampires quickly and efficiently.
Is everyone ready?
Vessel at Ruby.
Okay, so I think, we're going to be sort of cooperating on getting the vampires slain, where it's like, we should like double or triple up on one sarcophagi at a time. Have one individual push it open, and another individual's ready to just slam a stake in there and go to town.
Yeah, we're
Like that.
we're gonna be the ones to slam stakes, and they're gonna be the ones to open and distract the shield guardian.
So
Yes.
just to make sure we understand how this is going to go, when you tell
we're
me
not-
you're going, I'm going to be ready. So
Okay.
that being said, like, you got a lot of folks that you're going to be taking down into a very narrow corridor. So the
Mhm.
marching order is going to be important to start with, and there isn't going to be much of a staging area to
Right.
kind of help you.
It's going to be because basically only one person can go at a time, and so we got a lot of people to move in. So we're going to be ringing the alarm way before we can have the sort of like fire support or whatever the fuck we need.
So is there anything that you might want to think about before you ring the alarm, or that might happen when you do?
How many vials of holy water do we have?
None.
We have holy water.
Yes,
don't.
I
I
know we
made
have.
two. I made two.
You
Oh,
made
okay.
2?
Yeah.
Because I know I have at least 1 on my character sheet, so I want to know who has those.
I do not.
Okay, and everybody should have 3 stakes. I know Lose said she had 2. I'm not sure what happened to the third one.
I killed one of the lycoi with it.
Oh, right. Well, that wouldn't consume the wooden stake, so you'd still have that.
I think
I threw
Orlandis
it out
has
with
one.
them out the.
It's
window.
fine.
It,
It's fine.
It,
It's
it
not a
burned when the vampire burned. It's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So we
okay.
actually had 20 sticks, and just to sort of evenly distribute it, I gave everybody 3. So we do actually have 2 extra stakes.
Well, then I'll take the extra steak.
All right. So Lose and Glint now have 4 stakes.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, why do I have 4? I thought I had 3.
Or no. Okay. So Glint has 4. Lose has 3.
Yeah.
Orlandis will
Um,
take one.
What?
Orlandis
okay.
doesn't have one.
Oh,
He
you don't
has
have any?
3.
Should have had 3.
Oh, we each have 3. Okay, never mind.
Yes, there are
Forget
20
it. Forget it.
sticks.
Yeah, before like the first time we went down
Glint
here to
3.
thank them,
Gotcha.
Glint made
All
sure
right.
everybody had stakes.
Never
He also
mind.
has a giant bag of ashes. Yeah.
All right. All right. Mistakes. Strength. Not proficient. We're not proficient in it, right?
Yeah, it's just an improvised weapon.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I already have improvised weapon.
Okay, so who do we want to go down first? And when we first go down, are we going to be like trying to wait to muster, or do we want whoever goes down to just like go straight offensive?
I think we want whoever goes down first, which would probably be us, to go in offensive. At first, we need to see what the hell's going on anyway.
Okay, then I guess Glint can go first.
Yeah.
So we know where these like alarm spells are.
Yep.
Will Glint's ability to spider climb allow him to circumvent them?
Nope.
So they occupy like a space.
Yeah, so alarms typically will be on a portal way, and it's not that tripping over a specific line matters, it's moving through it.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not a surface; it's an area.
Right. It can be a surface, but it's more often than not an area.
Okay.
Like a specific
Yeah.
doorway.
Yeah.
He will still just try to proceed as carefully as possible
'Cause
and try not to activate them.
We may want people to watch the back because if they know where we're coming in from, they may try to cut off.
Yeah, but
escape
we're
path.
gonna we've got a lot of people trying to get through, so I think there will be a pretty decent window of time.
Before we go in, I want to give us Inspiring Leader.
How many attempts is that?
I think it's my level plus Charisma, so just 5.
Just 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm giving it to us.
Yeah, so
And
I guess
then-
Glint's gonna go first. He's gonna try to move quickly and stealthily.
So before we get into actual movement, I just want to make sure I understand the situation. Okay, I'm going to run it for you just to make sure I heard it correctly. So Glint's going to go first, and then everyone's just going to single file line, climb down the rope, descend into the narrow space, make their way through the narrow space till you get to the sarcophagus area, and then make your way through that narrow space to where the vampires are currently sleeping. So you presume. And then try and have the people who are coming in behind you try and agitate the shield guardian enough for you to be able to open the perhaps magically sealed coffins and then stake them in the heart while they sleep. Is that right? After setting off the alarm at the entrance.
Well, when you put it like
and
that,
not taking into account what Tom said, which was really smart, that there might be people on the surface level, like actual just regular ass guards, who might be made aware of the fact that you've entered into that space due to the alarm going off. I just want to make sure we're all clear on everything that's been said before we get into it. And feel free to take your time to change it if you want at this point, too.
So would it be better to go around and go through to the spot that we first exited out from?
So, no, okay. Hold on. So I just want to make sure that's what's been discussed. I just want to make sure you're paying attention to what the plan is.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as resources from NPCs go, that doesn't
that's
count
right.
what you folks have. I have one character amidst your group who can dispel magic on the alarm. I don't know who else might have dispel magic. It's not a terrible idea, but if you don't want to waste the resource, I understand that too.
Yeah, Cassia can also cast.
Yeah,
Dispel.
I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, Lana could dispel one, and Cassie could dispel the other, so at least we have some sort of time to potentially form up.
Yeah, that might definitely be worth it.
Doesn't the caster get aware when it's dispelled though? Anyway?
Look at alarm.
Sounds like a question for a caster.
Oh. Do I look like a good caster? I don't know. Shit, hold on.
She
I don't
was
know
born
shit.
yesterday.
I mean, Glint is trained in arcane. He might know.
Let me check. Hold on.
I think they do become aware.
It doesn't say anything in.
Yeah, it just becomes dispelled. It doesn't actually.
Yeah.
It can't magically trigger the effect that it would do magically if it no longer exists.
Sure. Okay, so
Excellent.
then
It's also
Let's
not a
fucking-
concentration spell, so they're not concentrating on it, so they
Yeah.
don't lose.
Let's-
Oh,
concentration.
that's right. That's right.
So
Let's
Lana will use
dispel it.
one, or use that resource, and Cassia will use one of her spell slots.
Alright, so we are dispelling it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna
We're
go
not-
through
we're
the
not doing-
narrow.
Yeah, again, think of this as a.
Sorry.
Best way to
Sure,
think of
fine.
this right now. Just you've
Yeah.
all played Cyberpunk. We've all hung out doing that. The best way I can try to make sure you understand that this is going to go is once you come up with a plan. Once it's locked in, we're going to start you down the path. I'm not starting
Yeah,
you down the
soon-
path yet.
As soon as we breach that tunnel, shit is happening.
That's
Yes.
that's where it
And I'll
starts.
be
Okay.
100. I'll be 150 with you right now. We're missing a player, so I'm not exactly trying to rush you into what will perhaps be a death trap based on choices. So I'm just trying to make sure you understand what's happening here. Like
Okay.
there is a level of gravity that we are all aware of, but like you're not 100% sure like how bad it is. But I do want to make sure we run through it again. So at the top of the hole, you have an alarm present. At the bottom of the hole, Glint is aware that there was an alarm present there in the past. They may have resecured it, and there might be other ones down the pathway. More likely than not, multiples, or too many more than like a couple or three. So the top one is going to be dispelled by either Lana or Castia. Then you're going to send people down. Okay, and then you're going to move into the tunnelway. Barring
Which
there
is
being
narrow.
another alarm, you're going to make it to the catacombs.
Mhm.
Once in the catacombs, you're going to form up as best you can in the narrow space, then push forward into the actually narrow space, and make it into the coffin room where there is a shield guardian waiting.
Mhm.
Inside of a magic circle, surrounded by coffins, which are also magically sealed with Octavian crosses.
Oh, we could probably save that for later.
Could skip it. Yeah, it makes more sense to skip it. Fuck. Okay.
Dispel
So-
magic on the shield guardian circle.
No, that'd be a waste. We could skip that for now.
Okay.
I think it'd be better. I think it'd be better to go where we found that door, where we jumped out the window, because that there was a front door there.
Okay.
So
one
we've
thing
got
I will
Yeah,
note.
there was a door in there that
But-
was locked inside.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
locked.
One thing
Okay.
I will note: the window was accessible on the north side of the building from the inside. That is
Mhm.
true. But there was one thing that was happening in Sepulture's Barrow that it might be different now. And if you can think about what that might be, then you can start asking the right questions to find out if the option you're putting forward is even a valid one. What was different about Sepulture's Barrow the last time you were here?
There was more Denisopans.
There were
No,
less
there was-
Oh, less
Yeah.
Denisopans.
And you know now there are.
more.
Correct. So what's the question you want to ask, Jonah? You can see the barrow from here. Like, you can get to the high ground on the side of the Titan and look
Are
straight
they
out there.
stationed by there? Where are they patrolling? Where are they guarding?
Or are
Ex-
they inside?
Could we go up and then
Yeah.
see if they're
Yeah, like I
patrolling?
said, remember there's like that nice little high point on the western side of the Titan. You can see
Yeah.
straight out there. And when you get up there and you start kind of surveying the area, you will note that the barrow looks different. The building itself, like the Lycoy Manor, it looks like it has guards stationed on it, like
Mhm.
actually moving about. And the guards that are on, like, the parapets of it, like the fortifications, are riding Blusa.
Oh fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
Well,
Probably
now we know
about
where.
4 of them, and it seems like they're kind of moving in this very neat pattern, so that as one is moving off of a wall, the other one is entering into it. So there's really no like time in between where the wall's not being watched.
Yeah.
Hmm. Shit, where's that invisibility potion? Oh wait, I drank it.
Yeah, but this is a situation that's very akin to Blazing Saddles. If you don't have enough for everybody, it's like a whole ass line of people like paying their toll to get to Rock Ridge. Like literally this line of people.
No, Glint was just gonna sneak on up there and fight them all.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, go with it. I'm down with that. I mean, Blofeld might help them.
Do we only see the Blusa riders, or are there more?
There are 4 Blusa riders, and then from what you can see in the town, it looks like it's being well patrolled. It looks like there are detachments of 5 Denisophan warriors, each wielding the large glaives, that are kind of maneuvering about the town. Specifically in the area just on the western side of the manor, where all of the gravestones are kind of located.
Okay.
And that's where we left the building, correct?
Yeah, you kind of came
Okay.
out of the
Of a
window,
wind.
then
Yeah.
moved in through kind of
Yeah.
just a little bit, and then straight north, which led you to because the graves in this area are all over the place. Like you're standing in one right now, so they're everywhere. But yeah, the pathway to the north looks clear, but it looks like the second you kind of hit what would be the map, you'd probably get spotted out.
I know
Damn.
I'm not the tactician, but if they're watching it that carefully, then I think they are expecting us to come in this way, and if they're expecting us to come in this way, I'm not sure what we're gonna find down there, but I'm gonna guess it's probably not good.
Ah.
All right. Out of character, I'm gonna consult y'all.
Okay.
So
Do
we have
a recon mission. It will involve us expending resources.
yeah. So they're expecting us to go in through the bottom or through that basement, and it's narrow, so it'd be easy to defend for them. But then they also have Blusa riders, at least 4, patrolling the outside and the area where we originally left from.
Which means they're also expecting us from the front.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's 6 half dozen.
Of what?
6 half dozen.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say something as the DM. I just want to make sure you folks understand. A lot of times I put situations on the table, and a lot of folks kind of like, oh, there's no way. So, yeah, it does seem tough. I mean, you are trying to do something that narratively should be impossible, should be very hard, but it's not
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
It's
I
not-
feel like we have the numbers to take on the Blusa riders. But the issue is, like, if they come with, like, a retinue of, like, 20 some odd Denisotvans, it's definitely going to be harder.
What's between you and the manor house?
The Blusa.
The
Medley flowers.
And why wouldn't a group of people who are walking be able to pass that, whereas a large fleet would be able to launch over it. Why would they have Blusa present on that manor house?
So they could jump over it.
Right. It's highly unlikely that a small force of like footmen are going to be upon you very quickly.
Mhm.
It's more likely that whatever happens, the 4 Blusa will probably ride out to you, survey the area, and if it's a threat that they think they can deal with, they'll deal with it. If not, they'll fall back and raise the alarm.
Mhm.
More so than the alarm being raised would.
So what if we have, what if we lead the Blusa to the main force, kill the Blusa riders, and then, walk up to the gate?
So, maneuverability is a matter, of course. I mean, so you're saying bait them and then kill them once they are across the flowers? Because they're more maneuverable than you. You saw this in the last fight you were in with them.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
if I didn't want to be in the fight, I didn't have to. Like,
That's true.
if I wanted to pile drive Glint through a fucking farmhouse, like on the top of it after he like ran away, I could do it.
Yeah.
If I wanted to murder the random mage who was on top of the actual like 50-foot tall fucking boat, I could be there in a second. So like that's a maneuverability thing that you don't have.
That's true. Okay. And they would be able to see us before we even get up the hill.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly maneuvering. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, so the vampire fight. Like the room with the vampires and the shield guardian, that was not...
I think that's a bait.
Well, yeah, but that was also something that the last time we encountered...
Muted.
We just moved around it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's still an option.
And
No, that's not the issue. It's the alarm. The alarm
No,
is...
but we already established that we can dispel the alarms.
Yeah, but there might be more.
So other than retreating,
which
we're
not
between a
doing.
rock and a hard place.
We're not doing that. Retreat is not
Yeah, I know.
anymore.
I know. Retreat is not an option. So we're between a rock and a hard place.
I'll be honest. If you guys retreat,
plans...
I'm just gonna have to come up with new plans because
No. I personally think we can do this. I think
me too.
I think dispel the alarms and kind of single file everybody in there, kind of stage everybody in that chamber at the very bottom. That's probably the best way to do it.
I think, yes.
But the Blues are not going to be able to get down that tunnel.
Yeah.
And the agitators finished off that one that was trying to get away after John 9/11 to farmhouse, you fucking monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the agitators are capable of killing a blue
Yeah.
if you wanted to
Holy
leave
fuck!
people on
You
scene.
went there.
If you wanted to leave people on scene to fight them,
Yeah.
like you could.
Yes.
I mean,
I think that having them guard the rear to keep the rest of the forces protected as they're funneling in, and then coming in behind.
Cool.
And then we can try to make our way through. And I think
Let's focus on splitting the forces here. It sounds like that's...
As long as the alarms get dispelled, we shouldn't have any problems.
Obviously, we have Alpha Team, the A team here. These fucking assholes. And I'll say that Zach is probably the one. Zach's
That's
character.
what A
B
stands
plus-ish,
for.
maybe.
He doesn't want to go on an airplane unless you make him fall asleep with milk. That's him. That's going to be after God, I think.
Okay.
The BA Baracus. Okay, so for everyone else, the bandits and the assassin are going to be working on their own detachment. They'll take orders to a degree, but they're going to be doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Then we
Cool.
have,
That would like to go with them.
as far as leadership goes, they don't want help. As far as leadership goes, we have kind of 3 leaders and 1 kind of standalone. And then as far as forces go, we kind of have smaller detachments amidst our folks. We've got Blouthild's kids. They don't die, they multiply. We got the cool scout kids.
They multiply.
And then we have the 2 guards who are kind of like, just there. So, force-wise, Albert's only suggestion in the midst would be, I think Lana should have the soldier boys with her, no matter what she's doing, just to protect
Yeah.
her.
That makes sense.
So, as far as that goes, what other suggestions do you have?
I feel like we should take a sneaky type.
Okay.
Like
Do you
someone who
want me
can
to-
scout ahead as well.
Do you want me to check that second story window?
No.
So we've already seen in combat. We've already seen Anusha. She's pretty reliable. She's not bad at the stealthy stuff. You know that Milo and Hasanti are both capable as far as stealth goes, and then the scouts are obviously clearly pretty good at stealth. Typically more outside than like in indoor cave stuff, but they could probably muster it.
Yeah.
But those are your stealth folks. You said you wanted one of those.
Yeah, can we take Anusha?
Yep.
And
Add her to the Alpha team.
I want to take Bethild's son,
Sarth.
Sarth, yeah.
And will
Like
Sarth be
Sarth.
taking his role that he had before in protecting Castia?
Yes.
All right.
Good
And then,
guys.
with that being stated, Albrecht will suggest that Blothild and himself act as the rear guard, the stern guard,
Mhm.
and they will hold the cavern and the rope so it's not detached, leaving you with no exit.
Smart.
And if they have to kill another flea rider, they will.
Okay.
And then Milena and the remaining scouts will act as a go-between. So as you move forward, they will remain in between you and the cavern. So communication is easy. And then once it gets to combat time and you've maneuvered out of the catacombs into the fight space, they will move up behind you and act as a reinforcement. And they will also set that place up for a possible ambush if someone can draw a combatant through the passageway into the catacombs.
Okay.
Because sneak attacks.
Hell yeah. We got it. That's the plan.
That sound good?
I think
Yes.
as far as an end goal, obviously it would be great if we can kill the Lord of the Manor, but
True.
I think a palatable, like, we've done this, let's try to get out of here is, again, getting the fruit from the tree.
I want to stress something too. When you fought the master of the house last time, it wasn't at night. It was during the day,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you didn't fight him in the crypts. You fought him in the
Yep.
manor. So
Yeah.
keep in mind, him being unconscious is not a certainty.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's a
I've
hope.
got guiding bolts ready.
It's a hope. I'll say that. Okay, so we have effectively 5 detachments. We have Alpha Team, your group. We have the Assassins. We have the middle group, which will be accompanied by Lana and her 2 guardians. So they'll be kind of in the middle for the ambush and interjection and also dispelling. And then you have the Stern Guard, which will be Albrecht, Blothild, and her other kids.
Yeah.
Any objections to the separation of parties?
Not at all.
Okay. And then let's work through the plan again. This time working at the specifics so we can decide whether or not it's the final plan. You are going to dispel the alarm, move into the possibly alarmed cavern with the Alpha team. So Lana will be casting the dispel on the top one. Once inside of the tunnel, spotting any other alarms will result in Castia dispelling them. Moving
Yes.
through that to the catacomb, followed by the assassin group directly, and then just behind them, the middle group, which consists of the scouts and the spellcaster. You will have Albrecht's crew, the Stern Guard, remain at the entrance of the cavern to ensure that the rope stays secure so that you are afforded an exit without any possibility of ambush at the top, making sure
Yes.
that the way out is always safe. You will enter into the space with the crypt space. You will fight the Shield Guardian with assistance from potentially the assassins, potentially the middle group, and hoping to get through the defenses to get into the coffins and stake the vampires if they're present. Defeat the Shield Guardian, and then at utmost, like, if it's necessary, find Master Lycoy in the house, because it's very unlikely that he's not in the house, and fight him and kill him with anyone who has been able to make it up until that point. Is that a fair assessment of the plan? And does anyone want to
put it like that? Oh, it sounds so epic.
Does anyone want to do anything different?
There's one thing I want to add, and that would be taking some fruit from that tree.
Okay, so absolutely fine. If the Lycoy is dead, it probably won't be necessary to prove he's a vampire, because you will have his corpse.
Okay.
And we can just throw it into the sun in front of people.
Here,
He's
look,
a
vampire.
Okay.
All right, gotcha.
Fair point, but yeah, I mean, might as well. And who knows, maybe you won't, die horribly when you eat like a, one that's good.
We won't be eating that fruit.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, if there's more than one good fruit, Glenn's gonna try and sneak one of them.
Just eat all of it. Just eat every fruit on there.
The bad one was like
that
bad.
Yeah.
The good one's gonna be great.
Okay, all right. So
amazing.
we Jesus,
maybe you just didn't eat the fruits in the right order.
Just making sure that's the plan, right?
That's the plan.
Okay, that all happens, and we move on to the next story. No,
Jesus
we'll
Christ.
see if it does.
Here's an invitation and some fresh character sheets.
I'm gonna say I don't want to start getting into the actual delve without the whole party here.
I agree with that.
Do you want to end it here?
Yeah, I think that we did a good planning session. Obviously, I'd like someone, not me, to type up the plan as we've discussed it, so that Zach.
All you, Jonah, master tactician.
Good idea.
Where do you want me to put it?
Wherever, general's fine, just so he can see it.
Okay.
And I will
So
say,
he can decide that he doesn't want to come back for the next session.
as a matter for the technical long rest that you took, and just kind of me retconning myself, technically you are engaging in a finished quest that wasn't finished until you decided to do this. So I'll be awarding experience after the stream as well. For a completed quest that it's too hard to explain, and I'm not going to get into it. Thanks for watching those that did. Sorry for the short
We went about
session.
it in a really weird way.
Yes. Stopping the stream. See you next time.